Hi, I'm Sarah.
I'm Drew.
I'm Emma. And I'm Hazen.
And we are back with another full family review for Let's Table It. Today we're talking about
Insectarium. For 1 to 4 players.
designed by Kristen Mott
And published by Snowbright Studios.
Let's do a quick overview of gameplay before we talk about what we think. In Insectarium, you are gathering different insects to pin to your board to create the best display. In order to score each insect, you'll need tokens in the rows and columns that match the type of insects that you collect. In the end, you will score points for bonuses for different tools that you collect, as well as the insects and their scoring abilities. So guys, what did we think of Insectarium?
I thought that it was a nice game, and it's kind of quick. It might just be like a sort of mid-game night thing.
Sure, I could see that. It's not like the fastest game we own, but it's definitely not the longest either.
Yeah.
So it has some meat to it for sure. What about you, buddy?
I really don't know.
Don't know for sure your opinion? No? Well, I really liked the art on the bug cards. That was really, really pretty. And I liked kind of that thinkiness of the puzzle when you put it together, where you are trying to get those perfect rows or columns, but sometimes you're just going to have to accept that it's not going to be perfect and make do with what you have and kind of work around different things.
Mine was almost perfect.
Yeah, I think
Those 2 cards.
as far as a tableau builder, I think a nice little lightweight half hour, give or take. Like you said, the art's pretty. I think it's variable enough. With how the cards are coming out, everything's going to be different. You can't really go in with a set strategy because the cards aren't going to let it happen.
The cards and the tokens,
Yes.
for that matter,
Oh my
too. So
gosh.
you can get the perfect cards in the perfect spot, but if you cannot get that token that you need, you're not going to score any of those cards. So there is a little bit of just going with the flow with this one and making do with what you've got.
Yep.
Hard.
It can be hard.
Butterflies.
Yeah, it's definitely, again, but it keeps it light enough. It's that fast enough playtime that, even if things aren't going well, there are some nice tools, though, that allow you to mitigate some of that and adjust as you're going. So even though you lay a tile and you can't technically move it, certain tools will let you throughout the time. So you feel like you still have a chance.
Yes. And to draw the obvious parallel here, you are collecting a card and a token together, much like Cascadia. However, you are drafting that into your hand that you already have. And so you can take a tile that you're not really going to plan on using for the token and not have it hurt you in any way.
Yeah.
So you do not have to play everything that you take, and you don't have to play all the tokens that you take. So it feels a little more freeing.
Yeah.
As far as you're not trapped into, this is something I have to play onto my board right now.
Definitely.
That's annoying.
Yeah, and at the same time, like I said, no matter what, though, at the end of the day, you are still stuck with a fairly small grid. And like we said, perfection's not going to happen, so you have to weigh out what to do. And I really liked it. I thought it was a great little game that, again, had a lot of thought. Man, I had AP with this, even though it's a light game.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely have to think through when you're choosing those tiles and tokens and how they're going to work with everything else that you have. And like Drew said, you're going to have a full grid. In 9 turns, you only get to draft 9 cards to make this happen. And so there is a little bit of a time crunch. So yeah, definitely some interesting decisions that you have to make and put that together with the beautiful artwork. And I think that really drew us in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did we have any negatives?
I think you have a very limited amount of things to choose from.
Yes, we did kind of find that pretty limiting. In the game, you have 4 cards and 4 tokens out, but 2 of those cards are tools and 2 of those cards are insects. And so we did kind of feel like only having 2 choices of insect each turn was going to be pretty limiting. And at a lower player count, it's really
worse.
going to affect the number of cards that you see. And if all of the cards that you need to complete your row are further down in that deck, you're just not going to see them.
Yeah. I think it really does shine at 3 to 4 only because of that reason. Yeah. You know, I feel like if there's some other ways to mitigate those card choices, like there are for some of the tokens and things, and there are a few, but it is even those tools are still limited as to what you're going to see and what comes out. So it did feel a little bit limiting in that way, but I know that's part of the crunchiness of it too.
Exactly.
Even if you could just blind draw from the deck.
Yeah, and then you still have to blind draw from the bag too.
Yep.
So it just gets a little more fussy, I think, at that point. So
it's more streamlined this way.
So we understand why the rules are the way they are. It's just one of those that leaves you wanting just one more turn, just one more time to look through that deck and get what you need. So
it's kind of like Furnace in that way.
Yep, you can see that. Okay. Anything else to add?
I don't think so. I think that pretty much sums it up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty little game.
It is. And I will say, in talking with Kristen Mott, the designer, she mentioned that they went with these common insects to the Midwest that just really kind of resonated with us in particular, because you're like, oh, I've seen this one before in the backyard. And Drew, as a biology person, really connected.
Yeah, I love the variety of the species, the different orders, you know, and stuff like that, and how, you know, each has just, again, that variety and variability, and again, gorgeous artwork.
Yes, very, very much. This has been another Anderson Family Review for Let's Table It. For more board gaming content, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. To follow our family's day-to-day gaming adventures, make sure to find us on Instagram at Sara Always Loses. Thanks to Snowbright Studio for sending this prototype copy of Insectarium for us to review. Because this is a prototype, there may be game changes in the final production. Insectarium is coming to Kickstarter soon, and we'll be sure to update you about that campaign as it unfolds. Thanks for watching.